The platform has been established 2.5 years ago in June 2012, and in fact the theme, the issue of the knowledge platform is to promote more inclusive development in African countries, because as you all know, many African economies are growing very fast, but there are concerns about the quality of this growth. Large groups of poor, vulnerable people have remained excluded from increased welfare.
The background of this initiative started some 2.5 years ago when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs established 5 knowledge platforms. And the basic idea behind these knowledge platforms is to bring different stakeholders in the policy process together.
For me, the platform is a very exciting adventure, and I hope that it results in real meetings between researchers and policymakers, and that research has a real impact on the policy-making outcomes.
We want to partner with you so that we see whether what we do can make a difference. What is causing the stagnation of formal employment sector? Probably that is an area where you want to delve into in the research on promoting productive employment. The problem is also compounded by lack of easily accessible financial capital for business expansion, low skills and productivity of enterprises, which hinders meaningful transformation for growth. So this is a challenge for which we have not found an answer in Kenya. We develop policies, but from the policymakers' perspective, we do not know whether these policies are realizing any results. Research is not for academia only. Policymakers are interested to know what impact their policies have on the target beneficiaries. So we want to challenge you to come up with policy impact evaluation so that there is a feedback mechanism. The government can know what impact its policies have on the people they are targeting.
The thematic departments at this stage, and some of our partners know that, are very much into results. What we've done on our side is at least to try to get a group of people that have the time to look beyond the building we're working in and try to go to Twitter, to go to research documents, to read books even.
Bringing together the expertise of Africans and African think tanks with those of Dutch academics and Dutch policymakers and Dutch people from NGOs.
We ally with the local business school, ESAMI, which is one of the top business schools in East Africa. We ask a question to these companies that they're really interested in, namely how to make inclusive business really work.
Now the conversation is one of inclusive growth, and we have actually our strategy moving forward 2015-2020 in the same space as a platform, and then I really look forward to working with that platform for years to come.
So we focus on really kind of a long-term payoff and producing capacity for doing high-level policy-oriented research. So you go back and look at how economic policy decisions were being made in Africa 25 years ago. Basically on heuristics, judgment, ideology, prescriptions coming mostly from outside the continent. IMF, the World Bank, non-Africans came up with the idea that we should build local talent, an informed talent, and that is based on rigor and evidence.
We try to compose these research projects with different parties, transdisciplinary, communication, etc. But the practice is far more difficult for these research projects.
Look a bit broader and more creative at outputs. Maybe you're already doing that. I saw some of the researchers even proposing a theater play, which I really like. But I'm coming from this vantage point, look at outputs from quite a broad and creative perspective. I've actually found that a lot of funders are more and more willing to also fund processes as outputs.
First of all, research could really inform their work. Second of all, research can create a platform for debate, which is very useful for NGOs to enter in. And thirdly, it's very important when research translates into policy that NGO knowledge and insights are brought along. So if a research process is designed well, NGO perspectives will also be on board.
And it's bringing together new knowledge that will be generated in new research projects, but also existing knowledge that is out there already but has not found its way yet to the policymaker or the decision maker.
Many people think that policy making in Africa is just it's like a sausage where you don't know what goes into it, but at the end of the day something comes out as a policy. But with this platform, new ideas are being generated in terms of what are the things that will go into policy, who are the actors that we need to talk to in order to get policy making, going. And I think that is going to be very innovative. And I think that the platform's ideas are very commendable. Yeah.
You meet with policy actors, and here I'm using the word policy actors instead of policy makers because policy actors they go beyond policy makers. Policy makers are perhaps the bureaucrats and a bunch of politicians but policy actors will include the journalists, will include the media, will include the NGOs, the civil service. Discuss your research ideas, revise or even refine the research questions as to make it more relevant, policy relevant to them. How you can get data. So you work together with them and you develop the ideas.
A network of people who reflect on each other's ideas and also recognize them without necessarily agreeing with them. But this recognition across different kinds of boundaries is something which is really unique and very essential in development processes.
There is a commonality in how we want to use the research. On the one hand, creating reflection, spaces of reflection for the participants, which could be a motor for change, and on the other hand, as a form of collecting data. And I think this is one of the common grounds in some of the research projects.
And I really hope that this partnership, this platform, will be able to fulfill that role. And the energy I feel just this afternoon as I came in here is that people are really looking very hard to find ways of structuring that. And I hope I can be part of it too.